We are going to get started on our back. Feel free to find yourself there today. And I'm going to just read the mantra. It comes from an anonymous source. And boy, is it a nice one. So I'll read it twice. So feel free to get settled on your back or stay seated if you prefer. People grow when they are loved well. If you want to help others heal, love them without an agenda. People grow when they are loved well. If you want to help others heal, love them without an agenda. And so what I'm just going to remind you of with the mantra, as you lie on your back, start your deep breaths. Have you taken some time to love yourself the way that you love others? Because as the mantra says, people will grow when they are loved well. Are you loving yourself well? And maybe if the answer is no, or I haven't been, that's okay. Give yourself forgiveness. And remember, love yourself without an agenda. Love yourself, my friends, as you are. Love others as they are. So a nice little start to our yoga class. Take a deep breath in. Allow for a deep breath out. And that's going to come into play with today's meditation as well, about loving ourselves, accepting ourselves, and self-compassion. If you haven't already bent your knees, go ahead and bend the knees. Bring the heels rather close to your sit bones. Let the arms rest at your sides. This class today is going to be all about just opening up the body. So as you inhale, press through the feet, send your shins toward the front of your mat, lift your hips. Just coming into a nice, easy bridge pose. Take a deep breath in, breathe into the stretch that you'll feel through the front of the thighs. And then friends, as you exhale through the nose, belly toned, lower down one vertebra at a time until that spine is safely back on the mat. And when you're ready, take your in-breath, pressing those shins forward, lifting the hips. You want to keep your head neutral. So that means looking at the ceiling right above your nose, and then slowly lower down on your exhale through the nose. So Ujjayi breath. And then let's take a few more. You may want to move a little faster or a little slower than I'm cueing. I'm encouraging some deep breaths this morning. As I was joking with you earlier, it's one of those Thursdays. We all can use a little extra breath. Inhale, hips reach, quads, hip flexors, feeling the stretch. Glutes are toned here. Exhale to lower, really giving yourself some time to just notice the details, not only of the breath, but of the sensations that you're feeling. And then on your next out breath, lower the spine down. You can repeat what we just did or take that deeper option. So this time as you inhale, press through the feet. You're going to then find your hips high, roll your shoulders into the midline. You might even join your palms behind your back. So now you're going to be on the outer shoulders. This is a great stretch for the cervical spine, the neck. I'm actually looking toward my heart, pressing my hips upward, sending the shins forward. One more deep breath here. And then as you find your deep release your arms. Slowly unravel the spine, one vertebra at a time. Take your feet the width of your mat, maybe a little further from the sit bones, and then just start to sway the knees side to side. You've also heard me say windshield wiper the knees. This is a great time to invite a longer breath. Shoulders move away from the ears. And I like to think of this as just taking a survey. How are the hips doing today? You might have a lot of ease in finding judgment, especially if you're experiencing stress or just living through one of life's storms. Often that shows up in the hips. So breathe in kindness. Accept where you're at today. Be grateful for the hips we have. Good. On your next breath, as you come to center, take the right ankle, cross it above the left knee. Keep your foot flexed. And this time, take the right hand to the inner right thigh. As you find your out breath, just gently encourage the hip to open. Don't forget, friends, to breathe and keep this right foot flexed. You'll see me doing that to save that knee joint. Now, soften the shoulders far from the ears. Relax your jaw here. Very often when we're trying to open the hips, we're starting to tense up the other portions of the body, such as the shoulders, such as the jaw. Take another breath here. Good. Exhale, release that connection, unravel the leg. And again, feet wide and sway the knees side to side, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose. And then on your next breath, let's take the other side, left ankle above the right knee. And as you find the cross, flex the foot. Your hand is going to connect to your inner thigh. Good. And take another deep breath wherever it is you find yourself at. Gently encouraging that opening on the out breath. Broadening through the heart space, shoulders far from the ears. And you might find one side often, I know in my body as well, one side is more agreeable than the other. Again, this is allowing us to learn about ourselves, self-study, svadhyaya, without judgment, without finding criticism, and then unravel the legs. And yet again, take the feet wide, windshield wiper, those knees side to side, really embracing the longevity of the breath. Slow it down, my friends. We are not in a hurry today, at least not for today's 75-minute class. I hope you're feeling that sense of exhale, right? That release, as I say, 75 minutes. What a blessing it is for us to be together today. When you come back to center, draw your knees wide. So toward your underarms, go ahead and circle those ankles for me. If that doesn't feel good, you might just want to point and flex the feet and take this time again, softening through the jaw, smoothing the skin on the forehead. And then find your happy baby. So don't strain here. We're still warming up. Hands to shins, ankles, or the arches of the feet. This is a great time to now broaden the clavicles, broadening your heart space. Keep your shoulders relaxed. I know sometimes I used to strain, trying to get my hands to where I thought they should be. And for me, that was the arches of the feet. If those arches are not attainable, allowing what is self-compassion. The theme for today's class. And just moving forward with grace and kindness, all those lovely things we give to other people, let's give them to ourselves as well. Wonderful. Now come back to knees center together and hugging them into the chest. And then as you exhale, just simple twist. So stack the legs over to the right. Your left knee, ankle, hip will be on top of the right. And then just gently reach the left arm away. I really want you to take these twists slowly today. We will get into deeper, I promise. We are not in a hurry. Just notice what it feels like in your mind, in your body. Are you experiencing resistance? As the teacher, in this case today, it's me, asks you to slow down. So if you are experiencing resistance or in a hurry, notice, and then maybe ask yourself why. Drive your navel into the spine, and then draw those legs across the center. Exhaling them over to that second side, right arm reaches, right shoulder blade anchors. Use your left palm on that outer right thigh to gently anchor in. Just feeling the stretch. And I'm encouraging you in today's moving meditation to be open to what is without trying to change or fix. Good. And then come back to center, extend your legs long, reach your arms overhead, stretch your body long. As you exhale, draw the left knee into the chest and then just take it over for a supine twist. Snap, crackle, pop if your spine is like mine. And no, I did not eat Rice Krispies, in case you were wondering. Take a deep breath in, lengthening the spine on each in-breath. And just softening in to where you're at in the twist with each passing exhalation. Good. As you inhale, friends, bring the same leg back to center, nose to knee. Take a deep inhale here. As you exhale through the nose, flex your foot. Take hold of the arch of the foot, ankle, or the shin as you come into half happy baby. So this might go a little deeper than our original happy baby. If you're finding this is too resistant, then go ahead and take full happy baby, because we're going to do the same thing on the second side in just a few moments. Broadening your heart space, softening the shoulders away from the ears. Good. Now, as you exhale, extend your left leg out to the side long, and then draw a big quarter circle, if you will, as the heels come to touch back and center. And on your inhale, bring the right knee into the chest. As you find your out breath through the nose, take the supine twist. Set up your foundation, take your time. I really want you to notice if you're really cranking on the body to go deep into the twist, which is something that can cause injury. So just be mindful as we move through today's class, breathing into the spaces of resistance, the spaces that need a little extra encouragement to soften. Good. And then as you find your out breath, come back to center. As you inhale, bring the nose to the knee, my shoulder blades, my head, neck are off the mat here. And then as I exhale through the nose, belly toned, flex the foot, take hold, and half happy baby. And relax your head and neck back down. What do you do with that free arm on the left side? I like to press firmly into the left quad. Helps me to anchor my left heel, keep my left side body active, also anchoring through the sit bone, left shoulder blade. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose. Just taking this moment to come right back to this present moment, this breath. Because really, friends, that's all we have is now. As you exhale, extend the right leg long, release the connection with the hand, draw that quarter circle down, heels meet, inhale, reach overhead, lengthen the side body. Good. And then as you exhale, friends, gently rock up to seated. So feel free to take a few rocks. Sometimes I like to do that myself. Each vertebra comes into contact with the mat. And then I'm going to ask you to come right into table pose. So you'll bring your legs around, come to the hands and knees. I still want to really focus on the joints. I want to warm up our joints properly. And so I'm going to come center on my mat, table pose, spread your fingers wide, and then really take up space. You might even find the knees hip distance, maybe even a little bit wider. On your next breath, we're going to start those big circles. So the heart, usually we keep it rather centralized around the palms. I want you to bring that heart all the way down to the knees. So big circles. So you might see me going a lot larger today, and I want you to try something new with me. So inhaling as you send the heart up and over the front portion of your mat. And then as you start to come down to the bottom of the mat and down that other side, that's where the exhale will come into play. Good. Now let's change directions. So same size circles, other direction, breathe into the wrists. So what we're going to really think about in this present moment is, instead of just thinking of this as our typical wrist yoga, as I like to call it, I want you to think about really pressing through the tops of the feet, the toenails, as the sit bones come down, maybe even scraping over the heels. I want you to really think about getting into the shoulders. And yes, the wrists, yes, our forearms are active. Good. Now come back to center with me into table pose. And I want you to think of your thoracic spine. So from your hip points up to the shoulders, let's make some circles there. So it'll look a little like this. And you might just start with the hips. There's really no rules here. And you'll find one direction when I ask you to take the other direction. You might actually add a little giggle today, because one way is natural, other way, not so much. So here we go. Let's change directions. And again, this is a great time. I'm just going to close my eyes. I'm not looking. There's no reason to worry about what you look like. Go by how it feels. Do you feel like you're getting into the body? That's the goal. Breathing. Finding movement in the wrists. I'm bending my elbows. I'm really moving into those hips. Good. And then come back to center. And then from here, I want you to inhale, find your cobra shape. If you're ready, you could float your knees briefly for an up dog. Take a breath here. And then, friends, as you exhale, press the mat away, sit bones to heels. Find your child's pose. Feel free to rest here or join me in finding cobra on the inhale. Full breath, follow the breath all the way till the end. Exhale to child's pose. Now your knees can stay wide like mine. Your knees can come together. That is a personal call. Breathing into your body. I want you to feel the lengthening of the front body as your body meets the cobra posture. And then I want you to feel that counter pose, that Pratyakriasana in the back body as we find ourselves in child's pose. Can you let go of any regions of your body that might be demanding your attention? Just breathe kindness into them today. If it's been one of those days or seasons in life for you, as I know it's currently been for me, where you might wake up just questioning, can I get through this day, this hour? This is a great way to just embrace the now, the what is, the who you are, what you stand for. Eventually you'll meet me in child's pose. Take your time to get there. And again, knees can be wide or together. Now, if your arms aren't already extended forward, go ahead and do so. Walk them forward and now really root the palms in. Press them out away like you're taking your sit bones to the heels or beyond. And now triceps, spin them inward, send them up to the sky. You're going to feel the lats turning on. You'll feel a stretch through the underarms, through the shoulders. Soften your face here, draw your belly in. Keep that same level of activity, but just gently inhale, walk your hands over to the right. So really walk your hands far from your body. Stack your left palm if that's appropriate. Your third eye will come down to a block or to the mat. And then again, root in with the palms, press away. The more you can engage those triceps in connection with the Ujjayi breath, you'll feel that deeper stretch through those shoulders that might feel tension, resistance. Sway your jaw here, even moving the tongue in the mouth. Relax your face. Just work to keep your belly toned by drawing the navel into the spine. Inhale, walk your hands across to the other side. Right palm may or may not stack. Really relax your head down. I see a lot of times as I'm just watching students practice, their third eye or that forehead region is floating. It's not quite touching the mat. If that sounds like you today, add a block. You could also add a pillow or even a rolled up towel. Good. And then on your next inhale, come back to center. And again, activate, press the mat away, spin your triceps inward and up. And then remember cobra pose when you're ready. Inhale, find that cobra shape. In one breath. Good. Now, if you're feeling like you're sinking into those shoulders, press the mat away, press through the tops of the feet, really open up the heart space, pulling that skull up and back. And then on your next inhale, gently look over your right shoulder. I love this because I feel a nice stretch, a little extra through the left hip flexor. I hope you feel the same. Come back to center on the out breath and then inhale, look over your left shoulder. Keep the skull reaching up and back. We often forget that. Good. Exhale, come back to center and back to table pose. Yes, she said it, table pose. On your next inhale, friends, take your left leg. Go ahead and extend it straight out. Keep your foot flexed. Good. Now on your next inhale, bend at the knee. So like you're going to try to kick the ceiling of your place. I can't say that anybody's outside today with a beautiful ocean background. So therefore, the ceiling it is. Inhale, squeeze your glute, lift your heel just about an inch or two. Exhale, relax, knee to hip height. Inhale, squeeze the glute. Exhale, relax. Inhale, squeeze the glute. Exhale, relax. Now notice your breath, notice your belly. Draw the navel in, stay nice and steady. We're going to repeat a few more of these. This is not only a great way to strengthen the glutes, but this is also great core work and checking in with where your balance is today. So as you inhale, you'll engage the left glute rather than kicking up, right? We're lifting by squeezing the glute. Exhale, release it down. Give those hips a shimmy. Breathe into the hips. If that hurts the low back, make sure you're tilting your hip points toward your ribs. We have one more side. When you're ready, inhale, extend that right leg long. So make sure, again, look back. The heel should be even with the hip. flexing the foot, and then inhale, flex. I like to build these postures nice and slow. You're looking straight down between the hands. Inhale, engage the right glute. Exhale, come back to where you started. Inhale, lift. Exhale to where you started. Now I see some of the knees coming down below the hip. If you want that extra glute activation, try to keep it. You're probably moving within a 2-inch space, 2 inches up-ish, 2 inches-ish down. Few more of these. Now again, notice as we concentrate, breathe, soften the face, navel into the spine. Can you press out of the palms? Good. Create space and length in the spine as we do challenging movements. Knee comes down when you're ready, and then just briefly take a child's pose. A relaxed child's pose. Draw those elbows back toward the legs, and then just breathe into your hands. We spend a lot of time with body weight into the hands, into the wrists. So just give them opportunity to soften. Notice if the belly is just dumping onto the legs. Draw that navel in. Good. And then when you're ready, come back into table pose once again. Still working on some hips, still working on some wrists. On your next inhale, go back to that straight leg that we had. So left leg first. I want you to think of pressing your heel like you're standing on the floor with that left leg. And now I just want you to draw some circles. These circles are small. These are not big at all. Good. Now, if you're feeling up for the challenge, left leg is back. Take your dristi about 12 inches or so in front of the hands, and then reach that right hand out to shake mine. Thumb facing up, same circles. Yes, you can do this with a smile, with a breath. Lower the right hand down, lower the left leg down. How about a cat-cow? Inhale to arch, exhale to round. These in-between moments, is in between one side then the other, these are such great neutralizing moments. So make sure you send the prana to the regions that we worked and that we want to soften. When you're ready, second side, take that right heel, reach it out, pressing firmly through the top of the left toenails. Heel is actively reaching. When you're ready, start your circles. Now don't worry, it doesn't matter what direction your circles are, because we're gonna go back through the same sequence and I'm gonna ask you to go the opposite direction. Yes, I said it. Why today, friends? Well, it's Thursday. You came. And we will conquer. Reach for my hand if you haven't already on that left side. Notice how your body is reacting. Is there a lot of wiggle in the hips? That's okay, but see if you can find stillness. Maybe move those circular motions a little slower. Last breath here. Exhale, release. Take any motions. It could be swinging that puppy dog tail, excuse me. It could be cat-cows. It could be all of the above. Good, now we're gonna add in that second side, but a little twist. Option, keep your hands as they were, or externally rotate. Fingers are gonna face the knees. Still spread your fingers wide. And at any time you can replace the hand placement back to neutral. See how this feels. When you're ready, let's extend the left leg out. One more challenge, send the heel out. Now, can you go the opposite direction that you did? This is gonna feel unnatural, kind of like our hands. There's a method to my yoga madness. Take a breath, find your length. Can you reach through the crown of the head? Can you reach through the heel while engaging the glute, while engaging the abdominals? Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. And one final tip, take the shoulders away from the ears. Find your smile. You can hate me now, love me later. That's okay. I know what may be going on in that yoga brain. Release the knee down and then free the hands. Let's take a moment, sit on those heels. Woo, deep breath in. I don't know about y'all, but all of a sudden it's warm over here in Vegas. It's been warm. Who am I kidding? Take another breath in. Are you ready for our final round? If not, join me when you are ready. We're gonna do the same option with those hands. Externally rotate, so your thumbs are facing the outer edges of the mat. And really take your time here. Really set it up and send the shoulders away from the ears. Find a long spine. When you feel ready, press through the top of the left shin and foot, and then extend the right heel back. Flex the foot, start to draw your circles. If you've gone that natural way again, can you try the other direction? Now going this direction, I really feel that transverse abdominis working. That's that lovely area below the navel. You know what I'm talking about, anybody? Breathing in, breathing out, same direction, glutes are firing, breath is perhaps challenged, but we're yogis, we got it. Another few breaths, a few meaning about 2, I promise. And then exhale, release the hands safely coming into child's pose. Draw those elbows back toward the body. Breathing in and out of the nose, give those hands a wiggle, fingers a wiggle, wrists. And then give yourself equal time to just relax the hands to the mat, let your fingers curl. Breathe into your low back, breathe into your glutes. And another breath. Good. As you exhale, find your way to down dog. Hydrate if you would like. All of the above are great options. We'll get started from down dog. Now from down dog, start to sway your body in one unit. Breathing from side to side, still noticing the details of the breath, the quality of the breath, of the movement. How are you feeling in the movement? How are the sensations in the body? Any particular regions grabbing for your attention? Good. And then from here, walk the hands back to the feet and then reach wide, shoulders move far from the ears. And as you inhale, turn the glutes on, raise your kneecaps, come all the way up with a flat back. Send those hips to me, reaching upward, reach through the ring fingers. Exhale, palms to heart center. Really nice. Now we're going to do some more work with the hips. Feel free as we come to our standing foot. We're going to start on the left foot today. Use the wall maybe to your right or a chair or something if you want that support for your balance. As you become ready, hands are going to come to Tadasana for those of you not using support. Relax the shoulders, stay broad in the upper heart space. As you inhale, bring that right knee hip height. Exhale, take it out and around. So think here hitting all 4 points, like you're drawing a square and you're keeping your right foot flexed and you're checking in with your breath, your balance. Spread your toes wide on the grounded foot. Good, now let's change directions, hitting those same 4 points. Breathing into the hip. So this moment, the breath, how is it doing? Is there a way that you could find more openness, acceptance for what is for right now? Good, release that right foot, shake out the left side. We're going to come into side 2 momentarily, standing tall. If you want to add a little challenge, I'm going to try it today. You might have a yoga block, place it on your head. I'm not even guaranteeing it's going to stay, but hey, why not? And if I've picked your less favorite side, my apologies ahead of time. Yeah, see, mine's going to fall. I'm telling you right now, just have fun with it. Find your Tadasana arms. Inhale, left knee up, hip height. Exhale, take it out and around. Starting in this direction, we will have another round, another opportunity. Anybody doing the block? I know some of you get cut off on the Zoom. If I see any falling things, I will not get nervous because I know you're using a block, not a brick. Sometimes I heard them call it a yoga brick. No, not today. One more breath, one more round. Exhale, release it down. Hey, look at that, friends. That block stayed on my head. What about that? I'm not going to use it again. I just wanted to have some fun with it, right? Yoga is about having fun. Back to that first side. You're going to stand on the left foot. Now let's focus on the height. So reach the crown of the head skyward. Feel free to use the block. I see some of you holding them, you yoga warriors. I love that. Tadasana arms. As you inhale, knee, hip height. We're going to start there. Now, as you exhale, with the flexed right foot, send the heel back like you're pressing the air away. Now your knees are together and then take it out. So you're starting by pressing the heel back. That's how you'll know you're going the opposite direction. Stay tall. Can you lengthen the sides of the body? Now, my wall holders, maybe today's the day where instead of all 5 fingers on the wall, maybe 2. There's always ways we can be playful and challenge ourselves. And hey, maybe it's one of those days where you're glad you just showed up. So keep those fingers on the wall if you prefer. Another breath around and release. Shake it out. Anybody? How'd you do with the block? Anybody? Anybody? All right, I see dancing. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take all of it. You ready for the last side? Good news, friends. The last side. Right foot standing, block on the head if you'd like. Tadasana arms, or you're hanging onto the wall. Inhale, left knee hip height. Flex your foot. Really keep the foot flexed. As you exhale, press the heel back. Now your knees are together. And now take it around. So you take it down, then out, bring it around. I want you to really think of strengthening the glutes here. We're working on that toning sensation. That is why I'm encouraging you to keep that foot flexed. Like you're drawing this circle with the hip, but I know you're not. The extension of the leg, the lever known as the leg, is the one drawing that circle. Broad through the heart. Give me one more round. Stay long through the sides of the waist. Press it down. Shake out that right side. You did an amazing job. We're going to come into Malasana. So if you want to use a block, you'll place it right underneath your sit bones. Take your feet wide. Externally rotate, toes, balls of the feet off, palms to heart center. Now, if you have the block, feel free to place it on top of your head. I'm not doing that today. I'm just too much in the mode of moving. Inhale, tall. Exhale, lower down. Think elevator ride, nice and smooth, pausing halfway or taking it to the bottom floor, whatever that means for you. Maybe today's the day those elbows will connect with the inner thighs. Don't fret if that's not today, that's okay. Breathing into the groin, breathing into your low back, breathing into your knee. I read an article I've shared with you before. If you do one yoga pose a day, supposedly, this is the one. I have a few other ideas if you ever want to talk about it, but you know, another discussion for another day. Breathe in. Can you broaden here? Can you broaden here? One more breath. Good. Keep that imaginary yoga block on the head. Bring it back up, top floor of the elevator. Bring it up. Beautiful. Exhale, hands to hips. Soften your knees. Turn your toes forward. Feet are going to come back to the width of the mat, and then just rotate your hips. Healing prana, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose. And then eventually you'll change directions. Are you starting to droop in the upper body? Keep your shoulders rolled back. Keep your heart space open. Wonderful. Really nice. And let's come into another balancing posture, Garudasana, eagle pose. So feet are going to come together at the center of your mat. Feel free to use the wall on your right side. And then sitting into Utkatasana, our right foot is going to be our base for this one. And then sitting in the chair, you might find that back arching. Tilt your hip points up to the ribs. I want you to keep that low back nice and spacious. As you inhale, bring that left heel out and around. Cross your leg over. Toes could be to a block here, to the mat, or you can wrap them behind that right calf. I like to give you all your options. Squeezing the legs inward. Feel the burn, my friends. And then right arm to a midline. If you're joining me with the arms, left arm comes underneath. Option to give yourself a hug with the right elbow on top, or joining and wrapping that second time. Now the final breaths here, sitting a little lower, elbows press away from the body, fingertips press to the sky. One more inhale. Good. Exhale, release the arms, release your legs, shake out that right side. Shoulder rolls back to open up your heart. I like to bend my elbows sometimes. And then look over your right shoulder while you continue the same motion of the shoulders. And then slowly look over your left shoulder. How's that feeling? Soften your jaw. Letting go of those labels, those expectations that we may have. And then shoulder rolls the opposite way. Give me another breath or two. Relax. Now you can tell, I'm sure you can hear it in my microphone. Heart rate is up, as it should be. Bring your feet back together. So again, take it at your own pace, hydrate as needed. As you sit into that Utkatasana, hip points reach up to the ribs. Left foot is our base. So take the right foot, take the heel, wrap it around. Now remember, toes can come to a block. They could also come to the mat, squeezing inward, wrapping the toes in, or just squeezing them toward that outer left leg. Palms could be at heart center, or you're gonna take the left arm 90 degrees. Left arm comes down. Remember, if you're giving yourself a hug, opposite elbow on top, otherwise wrapping that second time, breathing. Send the elbows far from the body, send the fingers up toward the ceiling. Take another breath, yes, you can. And release on the exhale, unravel, same shoulder circles, shaking out that grounded leg. Good, this time as you're finding those shoulder circles, right ear to right shoulder, and then explore those shoulder circles, especially on the left side. As that shoulder relaxes down, can the ear also relax down? We're not forcing it, we're just breathing softness. And then change directions of the shoulder circles. Once you have the rhythm of your breath, left to left. If you don't like that direction, change it. Remember, everything I offer is just a guide. Release, nicely done. Still continuing on with our balance, nothing too crazy. We're gonna come into tree pose, but with a different arm option. Fists behind your low back, join them together. If this is you, press those elbows toward the back wall, lift your heart. That's the upper body, tree. Other option, join opposite hand to opposite elbow. I love to set the upper body up first. It's like building a house from ceiling down, right? Or it should say, roof down. Stand on your right foot and then just come in left heel to inner ankle bone or below the knee. Lifting the heart, gently encouraging those elbows together. That third option for the upper body, reverse namaste. That's prayer position, elbows, forearms squeezing to the midline. So I'm holding opposite hand to opposite elbow, firmly supporting my mid back. Squeeze those shoulder blades together, lift, stretch the throat, stretch the sides and back of the neck while you feel the elbows, shoulders getting even further from the ears. Release the arms, shake it out. Now the in-between, keep the breath flowing through the nose and then just swaying, spaghetti arms. You knew it had to happen. This has been such a therapeutic movement in my healing. As I've always shared my story with y'all, it's important that we do things and share things that bring healing. When you feel ready, come back to center. If you want to do it some more, do it. And when you're ready, we're coming into that left leg as our base. This time, same three options that I gave. This time, if you're taking opposite hand to opposite elbow, my right arm went behind first. This time, left arm behind first. You'll see what I mean when you take holds. Now, if you don't get to the elbows with your hands, that's okay. You could also hold the forearms, that's fine. You could also join fists. Lifting the heart, squeezing gently those elbows toward the midline. Feel the stretch in the front body first. And then when you're ready, let's add in the balance. And that's if you're ready, friends. You might just take the option for the upper body stretch. Openness through the heart, softness in the Ujjayi breath. This brings in vulnerability. This is a good thing in our yoga practice. And a lot of us embrace practice. That word practice at being vulnerable, not my personal strong suit. As you exhale, release the feet, release the arms, shake it out. Really nicely done. Now we did some leg circles and hip circles, arms out to a T. Now, only if you're ready, okay? If you need to relax, feel free to continue to do so. As you take your arms out to a T, press the air away. So that means fingertips facing up so the wrists are actually in flexion. Good. Now on the inhale, I'm just gonna ask you to start circling. Yes, nice small circles. This is strengthening the shoulders, the arms, the upper body. Takes me back to my Karate Kid days, wax on, wax off. Anybody remember? The original, not the newer ones. Nothing like the original when you're talking about movies, especially one of my old favorites. Soft in the breath, soft in the face, change directions. So nice small circles, wax on, now wax off, haha. Keeping going with my joke. Can you draw your belly in? Can you press the air away a little more? Really activate those arms. Soften into the breath, soften into the movement. As you exhale, relax the arms down. Shoulders shrug, inhale. Shoulders release, exhale. Good. Add in that heel raise. Inhale, shrug, come up high on the toes. Exhale, heels down, relax. A few more. Inhale, shrug, high on the toes. Exhale, down. Inhale. We have one more. Exhale it down. Deep breath in. Really tense up the body. Nice, tight. Hold the prana in. Hold, hold, hold. And a deep release. Wonderful. Take the hands, join them at your low back. This is where option I showed you the other day. You could keep your elbows bent and squeeze those elbows together, lift your heart. You might stay here. You might then choose to straighten the arms down. If this is the case, my heart is lifting skyward. My knuckles are reaching for my heels. Do you feel the stretch? You should feel an opening through the heart. You should feel a stretch through the front of the hips as well as the chest. Stay here or exhale, hinge at your hips. And then you'll take your knuckles, reach overhead. And then eventually, one day, maybe today, you'll look between the knees or to your navel. You'll feel the weight slowly shifting to the balls of the feet. Trust yourself, my friends, you got this. Notice the breath when you're trying to trust yourself, maybe going out of your comfort zone. Can you soften into the moment? And then when you're ready, inhale all the way up. And then exhale, release, shake it out. Do you have a wall space? I'm going to ask you to have a wall space or a door. You could use a closed door for the foam roller workshop for those of you attending. So for me, ta-da, my wall space. Okay, so take your hands straight ahead. Let me try that again. Hands are going to be shoulder width, and I'm just going to press the wall or your door away. If you don't have a door space, use a chair. Anything, even if you're off camera, that's okay. And then just step away from the wall and then send your sit bones back, melt your heart, melt your underarms, and continue to press the wall away from you or your chair. We've done it in chair yoga. This is just a nice way to stretch your shoulders. Good. Take another deep breath in. Good. And then as you exhale, friends, just step back toward your chair or your wall. And then let's come back front and center on our mat. Cleansing vinyasa, take it with ease. As you inhale, circle it up nice and tall. Good. As you exhale, swan dive. Really let the breath, the heart guide you on the way down. Just noticing those fine details. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale through the nose, plant your palms, float or step it back, plank pose. And then you can exhale all the way down, chaturanga, maybe even to the belly briefly, and then inhale. Up dog, maybe cobra. Take a breath here. And then as you exhale, back to your down dog. Good. On your next inhale, take the right heel, reach it high. Exhale, low lunge. So the left knee will come down. Untuck your toes. And then Urdhva Hastasana, arms reach up. And good. Now as you exhale, bring the palms to heart center. Twist to the right. You might stay here. Hug your right hip back, send the left hip forward, and then on your next out breath, hinge forward, connecting the outer left shin and thigh. Now, if it feels okay, you're gonna look over the right shoulder, press your palms together. This is gonna engage those pec muscles, just breathing into the twist. I told you to be mindful in your twists today, so feel free to extend the back heel, but I like to give myself a different foundation, a more secure one, rather than adding in the balance. As you exhale, come back to Urdhva Hastasana, reach it up. Good. Exhale, frame your foot. Now from here, hands to blocks, or for me, fingertips only to the mat, framing the right foot, tuck your left toes. As you inhale, extend the heel back. So stay here if you'd like, or otherwise inhale, straighten the right leg, press your left heel toward the mat behind you. Like a pyramid pose, just a different variation. Inhale, come into the lunge. Good. Exhale, straighten, press the back heel down. Inhaling to lunge. Give me a few of these. You could also stay in that pyramid variation if that is preferred, if that's more what your body needs. So you'll notice, and I cued it as just the fingertips because I want you to get really used to the contact points taking initiative. So yes, it is easier, if you will, with the hands down, but adding in that balance element. And then from your lunge, flatten your palms to your blocks or your mat, and then step it back to plank. Take your vinyasa. Or you can skip that vinyasa like always, finding your way directly to down dog. When you're ready, inhale, left heel high. Exhale, step it through Anjaneyasana. Right knee comes down, finding your reach skyward. Feel free to stay here, or as you hug your left hip back, send the right hip forward, palms to heart. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist to the left. And then find that connection, right tricep to outer left thigh. Breathing in. We did a lot of heart opening. So keep the heart space broad if you're looking over the left shoulder. We're not cranking on the body with effort rather than encouraging the space. Good. Exhale, come back to center. Fingertips to blocks or to your mat. And then when you're ready, tuck right toes, send your heel back. See how that lunge feels. When you feel steady, inhale, straighten the leg. Actively press the back heel down. And then as you inhale, come back to the lunge. So take a few more breaths here. Very often, friends, what I see or notice, even about myself, I start to look toward my navel. Can you challenge yourself and look forward? That is going to help you keep your chakras open, especially the throat and heart. And that's going to help with that prana flow, energy flow, etc. Give me one more. Inhale to straighten. Exhale to lunge. Once you find a lunge, flatten the palms. Find that good surface. Step it back, plank. Exhale to dog, or find your vinyasa. Good. Exhale, lower the knees down. You're going to untuck the toes, come high onto your knees. Knees are going to be about hips width. Hands to hips, palms to heart center, or Tadasana, really your choice. We're going to work the quads and the front hips. So roll your shoulders down and back. I'm going to start with palms to heart center. Now, as I'm going to show you from the side, what we're not doing is camel, right? We're not doing Ustrasana. What we are doing is staying long. And as you exhale, I'm just going to ask you to reach the crown of the head back to where the wall meets the ceiling. See how my body's staying straight? I'm pressing through the tops of my feet and then coming back to upright. That's what I'm going to ask you to try. Good. Inhale tall. Exhale, stay long. And press back. Feel the stretch through the quads. Press through the feet. Back up. Good. Exhale, take it back. Keep it long. Keep it broad. Breathe. Stay for a moment and back up. Take a few more of these. Now, if it feels better for you to stay in that static stretch, do so. Keep breathing. Otherwise, going back and forth, this really lights those quads into ignition and you really feel the burn. Keep broad in your heart space. Keep soft in the upper body. Good. And then coming to upright, sit to your heels, take your knees wide, and then find your way to child's pose. And there's something I want you to notice about this child's pose. As you activate the palms, as you press the earth away, spin the triceps in and up, taking deep breaths, breathing into the shoulder blades. And what I want you to know about this child's pose versus the others that you've done, just notice if there's more space to move. And when I say move, I mean to go deep, to feel the sensation, to notice the breath. And again, deep doesn't just mean your physical body being pushed to the limits. What I mean is the connection. Are you able to find true rest in this posture, gaining wisdom from Mother Earth, right into the third eye? Soften. Good. Eventually draw the elbows back to the knees. Take a breath here. Good, pressing up. Feel free to keep your eyes closed. You can come to a seat, otherwise to your back if you're taking Shavasana before meditation. We have just a few more postures left before our guided meditation. And I would like you to bring your feet hips width. Once the spine is safely to the mat, feet are going to be hips width. Now, if you can, only if you can, don't strain. Take your hands, see if your fingertips can brush your heels. If they can't, that's okay. If they can, wonderful. That's where we want them. And then pressing into the feet, pressing into the forearms, arms at your sides, press your hips up, send your shins forward. Same bridge pose that we did earlier, just going a little deeper, joining the palms, rolling your shoulders in only if that feels good. And then just breathing into the stretch. Feel free to stay here. Otherwise, right foot reaches up to the sky, yogi toes spread, reaching with the toes, pressing through the forearms and shoulders. Lower that right foot, press your hips up. And then if it feels appropriate, send that second foot up. Breathing, you'll notice one side of the body taking more of the weight than the other. Exhale, lower the foot down, release the arms, and lower the spine safely, one vertebra at a time. Feet come to the width of the mat, and windshield wiper the hips. Again, just taking a moment to observe changes from our breath work, from our connection to slow down and letting the breath guide us. Wonderful. And then inhale, cross the right ankle above the left knee. We did this at the start of class by connecting the right hand to the inner thigh. Feel free to repeat that option or go a little deeper now by joining the hands behind the left hamstring, and the elbow will connect to the inner thigh. Feel free to lengthen the left leg or keep it bent. I love demoing both because both feel equally as wonderful. Remember, our practice changes each and every time we change, each and every time we find ourselves onto the mat. Keeping that Ujjayi breath flowing, release the cross of the leg, crossing the left ankle above the right knee, option for the hand connection we've done, or take it into that deeper connection with the elbow. Feet are flexed, protect your knee joints, sway side to side, taking a moment to soften the shoulders away from the ears. And then releasing that second side, revisiting the outer edges of the mat as you windshield wiper the knees. And we've almost done it, my friends. Just one more stretch. Bring your feet back to center, keep your knees bent, cross the right leg over the left leg just once, and then draw the knees into the chest, and then opposite hand will take opposite foot or opposite ankle. So what does that mean? Left hand to right and right hand to left leg. As you start to feel the stretch, tell your hips to let go, finding that calm in each passing Ujjayi in breath and out breath. Good. Exhale, release, and then crossing the left leg over the right leg. Once you have that connection, draw the legs in, taking hold, opposite hand to opposite leg. We'll have a few more moments here. After this posture, feel free to just ease your way into Shavasana, or perhaps taking another twist or a happy baby or all of the above. And eventually coming in to whatever is most comfortable for you for that final relaxation. I'm flowing right into today's meditation, giving yourself time, the natural breath, eventually returning, the relaxation increasing. So doing whatever you need to do to make yourself more comfortable. And then just noticing the breath. Inviting a longer breath in. And an even deeper out breath. So the 3-part practice today for our meditation, all focusing on self-compassion. So just for a moment, I'm going to ask you to conjure a time in your life, a moment where conflict, negativity, perhaps even self-flagellance occurred. Negative thoughts, doubts of yourself. Maybe you were victim to saying something that you wish you hadn't said. It could be something currently going on, a life storm from the past. I'm going to give you a few moments of silence to just allow that moment to come to the mind. Now that you've conjured the moment that you regret, the moment you felt shame, the moment, the thought, the situation, whatever it may be. Just notice how you felt in that moment. What types of sensations may have occurred. Might even be experiencing those all over again. As you invite your next breath in, as if you were being presented a little puppy, a little bird, a little creature. Notice how you would handle that little creature. Innocence. Likely you'd find gentleness and kindness. And so what I'm asking you to do now is come back to your breath. Come back to that moment of negativity. And just the way you grasped that sweet little creature. Almost turning toward yourself in that moment. And noticing how, with a calmness in the breath, sitting with the negativity, the thoughts, the words, the internal chaos. Notice how, by embracing yourself with that same gentleness and kindness, you can sit with that mistake, that regret, and like a cloud, sitting with it, acknowledging it. Notice how it dissipates, dissolving into what was. And as you come back to your breath, notice sensations in your body, in your mind, and really, truly feeling what acceptance feels like. Are you experiencing tingling in the body? Are you feeling challenged to accepting all of you? The strengths, the good qualities, ones that you may perceive as flaws or shortcomings. Is there any space as the in-breath flows? Is there any space for forgiveness? Because when we allow the flow of life to happen as it will, there comes a softening, a release, and a period of ease and peace, true ease and calm within. And as we know, another storm, whether it's current, future, or from the past, will arise again. And just like we embraced the small, sweet creature, I invite you to embrace that same grace and kindness with yourself. Allowing your next in-breath to be that grace, traveling through the body like a bright white light, nourishing you, cleansing you, giving you that chance to start again. And as the natural flow of the out-breath leaves your body, perhaps that new space created can not only be grace for yourself, but as it leaves the body, that same grace and forgiveness can travel into your relationships, your community, the universe. Breathing in, saying to yourself, I forgive you. And whether that's yourself or others. And as you find your out breath, reminding yourself by saying softly, I am okay. Breathing into your full body. Breathing out anything except grace, compassion, and love. And if the mind wanders, invite yourself back. And even if it's helpful to revisit that same negative moment, situation of chaos, finding yourself turning to those emotions yet again, or maybe even repeating those same 3 steps with a different situation. And noticing the connection. And the power of the breath. The breath, this one and the next, always with us. Something to rely on with confidence. It never leaves us. Feel the breath flowing in. And as it leaves the body, I'm just taking comfort in the here and in the now. Granting yourself permission to grow from the experience, to learn from regrets, mistakes, or conflicts. The in-breath, a new opportunity. The out-breath, a cleansing to begin again. People grow when they are loved well. If you want to help others heal and yourself, love them, love yourself without an agenda. Invite a longer breath in. Deeper release. Just begin to notice the physical body. Feel the contact points on the mat or cushion. Notice the sensations. And then slowly invite some small movements back. Take your time. When you feel ready, on and in breath, reach your arms overhead. Extend your body. Notice what it feels like. And as you exhale, hug the knees in. Sway side to side, massage your low back. Rolling to one side. Take a breath. And another. And when you feel ready, pressing up as you find yourself in a comfortable seat. Feel free to stay in your lying down posture as well. You bring your palms to Anjali Mudra. Thank you so much for letting me guide today's practice and meditation. I look forward to seeing all of you. What a bonus if you're able to make it a third time this week. Lucky me. I hope you feel at peace. I hope you will allow the rest of today some self-compassion for yourself, compassion for others. And I look forward to seeing you again on Saturday. Namaste. Thanks, friends. Hope you feel better than when we started. Thank you so much. Take good care.